Hey dude, what's up?
Not much, man. Just drinking some pool, Jeice.
What?
What's up, everybody? StevDeS here, and welcome to another edition of Dragon Ball Days. This Dragon Ball Day, I think it's time to continue a series that, honestly, took off. Like, it bested the part I had about female Vegeta up until the next part came. Sorry, Jeice, no matter what happens, Vegeta's gonna be better than you. But regardless, thank you all so much for making part one a rousing success on the channel. I didn't know that everybody had that love for Jeice that I have so much. You're the real MVPs on this one. You all seem to enjoy how the scenario played out, and as is proven by your vote, Burter will be joining Jeice on Earth. However, I did make a promise to a certain commenter on part 1, Lord Cooler. I promised him that some of you may regret your decision, so I think it's time I made well on that promise and helped you all really see that no stops are being pulled whenever I do these. I think of every possible scenario and go for the one that I believe is the most entertaining. So, Schmidt, hit me down that timeline. Well, I don't know, why don't you do the timeline, yeah, you know, we had the percentage of people that said yes. How about an exact opposite poll, whereas the exact number of people said no? Alright, let's do it. Ah! Who are you? I'm you, and would it kill you to put some underwear on? Oh, come on, it's not like you haven't seen it before.
We are sexy. We are sexy. Yeah.
So what are you doing here? I'm here to see how the Jeice timeline would be different. They voted for Burter to stay, didn't they? Yeah, they did. Very well, just chill out over there for now. I'll give you a cut of the footage on your phone. Cool, thanks. Don't mention it. Anyway, I gotta get to recording my end of things. So, all of you had voted for Burter to leave the planet and be a good little soldier for the Frieza forces. Well, I guess it's the King Cold forces, since as far as he knows, Frieza's dead. And so, the day ends bittersweet with Burter leaving in the pod, never to return. Jeice does feel bad about this, and over time he was hoping to have a friend, maybe hang out with him in the apartment, live with him, but unfortunately Burter had chosen this way, so Jeice occupies his time by exploring the new planet that he lives on. He checks out several restaurants, considering Capsule Corp would pay well, and goes to different bars, saloons, and different towns, looking around at different things that Earth has to offer. He becomes more of an explorer. He's even added more casual clothes to his repertoire, you know, not the battle armor. One day after work, he decides to travel far on the planet, towards a desert or some sort of wastelanded area, where he comes across a nice saloon. Jeice walks into this saloon and realizes that there is a woman with a machine gun pointing it at several men around her. Clearly these men have a problem with this woman. Just as she wants to point the gun up and fire a bullet to threaten them, unfortunately, something tickles her nose, and she sneezes as her hair instantly turns into a nice shade of blue. After realizing she's holding a machine gun, she jumps, and the machine gun starts getting a little shaky in her hands, and that's when one of the guys takes the opportunity to disarm her and pin her to the bar. They're wanting their money, and clearly this is a biker gang of some kind. Hey monkeys, get away from the lady! Oh look boys, the girl's got a Prince Charming blushing so hard he's red all over. One of them lunges at him with a crowbar, but Jeice grabs it and bends it intimidatingly. You see what I'm doing to this bar? This could be your spine if you don't leave the lady alone. Naturally, that threat gets through to him, and while a couple of them are stupid enough to try to fight him, the others all run away. He approaches the lady and picks up her gun, holding it out to her saying, "Is this yours?" Naturally, the nice lady does recognize it and receives it from the nice young man. The woman introduces herself as Launch? Yep. So if they voted Burter away, we'd ship Launch and Jeice. Well, that's all I needed to make them regret their choice. Thanks for helping me out. Yeah, good luck with the backlash on this one, buddy. Oh, trust me, I'll need it later. Peace, my dude. Get him out of here, Schmidt. Oh, okay. A little bit of a rough landing there, Schmidt. Don't tell me what to do. Alright, well, with that out of the way, let's get into part 2 of What If Jeice Turned Good. We open up where we left off last time, with Jeice walking away, but this time a familiar voice stops him in his tracks. Burter calls out to him.
Wait a minute, Jeice.
He approaches his friend and smiles down at him, thinking maybe Jeice is onto something.
So Frieza killed you, huh?
Yeah, mate. Wore me back was turned. He put a beam right through me chest.
Well, maybe Earth would be a good place to retire.
Oh, screw that, mate. Miss Bulma will hire you, wouldn't you, Miss Bulma?
Well, I guess. As long as you don't mind splitting your paycheck.
Then it's settled. You'll be a security guard here, and we can both live in the same apartment.
But what about the ship she built?
Well, why waste the opportunity? I'd love to go on an expedition to New Namek. After all, you must have the coordinates from your last trip.
And so, Dr. Briefs does go to New Namek and takes the ship that was prepared for Burter. Burter is acquainted with Earth, and he tries to blend in as much as possible, and so does Jeice. I mean, a red short guy with white hair, looking young as can be, right next to a big blue snake guy. It's gonna turn a few heads, but as people get used to seeing them, they start being a little bit more intertwined with the public eye. And they do take the time to spar because they know Vegeta's on the planet, and Vegeta might not be inclined to enjoy their company. However, at this time, Vegeta isn't on the planet, and since Vegeta isn't, they want to take advantage of Vegeta not being there and train with gravity training. They put in the request to Bulma, and Bulma does make a dedicated gravity chamber so that the employees and staff who are a little bit stronger can use it. There are other humans that have a power level over 200. It's not just them. That, by all means, they're probably weightlifters, probably martial artists. If they live around the city and they're interested in some intense training, they can go in for a rental fee. Maybe Krillin if he visits. Yamcha would use it time and again, but there wouldn't be a whole lot of humans actually using the dedicated gravity chamber. It would mainly be this duo. Considering what 6 days of intense gravity training did for Goku, we can imagine that these two would probably have some gains. They're not Saiyans, so they do have time on their side. They could perfect and raise their power levels to be a lot better. But their initial power level actually has yet to be determined. It's not officially stated in the anime, nor is it officially stated in the manga. So, what could their power levels be? This is where my side of things comes along to answer this question. Finally, a gamer who plays Dragon Ball games can be heard!
You can do it!
But I dug a little bit deeper than the source I'm going to use to have a fair power level for these two. I looked up information regarding some of the Japanese games that do mention their power levels, and I found 3 of them that would make a good point. In Dragon Ball Z Goku Gekidoden, and I'm sorry if I'm butchering this pronunciation, Jeice's power level is at 50,120, with Burter just over him at 50,600. In Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan Densetsu, we can see that Jeice's power level is at 64,000. Burter here is actually weaker than Jeice at 62,500. And finally, in Dragon Ball Z 2 Gekishin Frieza, we see that Jeice's power level is still at 64,000. That remains solid. But in this iteration, Burter's power level is at 68,000. Considering these 3 games, I think it would be fair that Burter is a little stronger than Jeice, but not by much. The source I'm using, however, is Dragon Ball Z Sagas for the PlayStation 2. Dragon Ball Z Sagas was a bad game, I'm not gonna deny that. But it does have a spot in my heart. It's a guilty pleasure. In Dragon Ball Z Sagas, the power levels of both of these two were at 95,000. So clearly there's a divide there somewhere. Since Burter's not that much more powerful than Jeice, let's have an almost clean cut here, with Burter hitting 48,000 and Jeice being at 47,000. This would support them being weaker than Captain Ginyu, since Captain Ginyu's top power level was 120,000. Goku during the Saiyan saga was...
It's over 9,000! What, 9,000?
And he retained that when he made it all the way to 90,000 before landing on Namek. That's about a 10 times multiplier. I understand that the canonic power level is in fact 8,000, but he can do Kaioken at any time. 9,000 isn't really out of his reach. Besides, who said Goku was putting his all into powering up? I feel like with more time behind them, they would be able to get that 10 times result, maybe even more. But when I went into this, I guessed that they would be able to breach 1 million. Yeah, unfortunately they're not able to breach 1 million, but they are able to get up there. With the 10 times multiplier, Burter would end up at 480,000, and Jeice would be right behind at about 472,000. I'll give him a little bit of a mulligan there. He is the main character. More gravity training will follow, and on a certain day, they go all out, rendering themselves to the floor and napping because they don't have work the next day. While this happens and the gravity chamber is sealed off, a dark mist engulfs the planet for just about that night. The citizens start becoming rabid and they begin to grow fangs. They don't remember who they are, but they know who they support. Jeice and Burter, the following morning, decide that they should probably head home and get some breakfast, and while walking, they're assailed by a couple of people, and they run back inside because they don't want to harm anyone. They don't understand what's going on. Then they're assailed by Bulma's mom, which is not right. They blast a hole in a window, promise to pay for it, and fly out. Jeice knows that Kami's lookout may have the solution for this. Kami's kind of a smart guy, and by the time that Burter came around the picture, Jeice is familiar with the Z Fighters.
What do you think that was all about, Jeice?
Heck if I know, mate. Maybe we should head to the lookout after getting some breakfast. Kami might know something.
What's a kami?
Oh, you'll find out. He's a pretty cool old Namekian. The duo arrive on the lookout just as Gohan and Krillin are on the back foot against Salt and Mustard. Naturally, they hear Spice introducing themselves and being all cocky. Ha! You can't defeat the Spice Boys! Stop right there, scum boys! Jeice and Burter plan this out because they're still their eccentric selves. They land on the lookout strong as ever because they can sense that these two that have been beating up on Krillin and Gohan, they're nothing. Let's hit it with our poses, Burter!
You got it!
Now you fight the power of Jeice!
There's no use running because you can't match the speed of Burter!
Together!
We are the Cheeky Force!
Ha! We still got it, Burter!
Look at their faces! They're speechless!
Salt and Mustard do go down pretty easily to the duo, but then the Machio Star starts pumping up the demons' bodies. Spice and Vinegar are starting to prove a little too much. But remember, Piccolo had a plan. Piccolo uses this opportunity to free Kami and Popo. However, the dead zone opens as Garlic Jr. routs the heroes, and everybody gets stuck in that barrier that Gohan uses. It's then that the Z Fighters come up with a plan, and Jeice and Burter have got this covered. With their purple spiral flash, they're able to do some damage to Garlic Jr., but the idea is to give Piccolo and Krillin some cover so that they can approach Garlic Jr. and hold him down, allowing Gohan to blast him away with the Ki barrier. Gohan again saves the day. Vegeta does return to the planet and scoffs at the two. He isn't ignorant to their power increase though. As a matter of fact, they're just getting better and better every day. Jeice isn't going to take any flack from Vegeta because at this point, he is far stronger and he's got Burter backing him up. Sorry Vegeta, this is a no landing zone. I'm going to need to see a permit.
I had no idea that security on this planet means space cop. Out of my way. Keep joking, Vegeta, but Jeice and I won't hesitate to put you in your place, you know. You're trespassing on public property, so we're gonna need to see some form of ID.
This back and forth bickering goes on for a little while, but then Bulma comes up, splits it up, and guides Vegeta inside. I'm not going to change that about it. I think Vegeta would get with Bulma here. However, the two do get a laugh when Vegeta has that pink shirt on, and Vegeta can't do anything to them. Things would move on just like in the anime. Nothing really would change as far as Mecha Frieza and all that, because they know better than to throw themselves at Frieza. Much less King Cold. However, during the time span where people are preparing for the android threat, Jeice and Burter decide to go up against Goku. Not just base form Goku, they want to fight him as a Super Saiyan. Why would they want to do this? Just basic battle tactics. If they know the enemy's going to be more powerful than a Super Saiyan, they at least need to be as powerful as a Super Saiyan in order to take on whatever threat's coming. Sure enough, they need more training, but the question does come up as to how Goku even attained such a form. Goku answers this and tells him about how, after Krillin died, he just felt so angry. This anger just balled up inside and let out. With the fear of the androids in mind, Jeice comes up with kind of a harrowing idea, but if it's for their own survival, maybe another Super Saiyan would help. He asks Burter if they should help Vegeta. Now, Burter's answer, just like Burter being in this scenario, is gonna be your fault. So you tell me, does Burter and Jeice help Vegeta attain Super Saiyan? This is your choice, so make sure you think it over. Is that threatening enough for you, Lord Cooler? For more what-ifs in the realm of video gaming and Dragon Ball alike, such as if Broly and Paragus were to land on Namek as opposed to Vampa, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao. Okay, I gotta do it again. Butt slam!